Welcome back to another episode of Sean Ned's Do Baseball. I'm Sean.
And I'm Eds.
And we're bringing you the baseball history.
That's right, we're a bi-weekly baseball history podcast where the story catcher doesn't know what the story pitcher is out on the mound throwing them.
And that makes things all the more fun, at least for the catcher. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's for the pitcher too, but the catcher definitely, has this little mystery. Mystery's fun. Mystery is fun. The unknown is riveting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I was just going to add there that for me personally, it's not as exciting to tell you a story that you already know. So
that's a solid point.
That's why we do it this way.
That is why we do it this way. And I guess we do other things, other ways. And where can people find us doing things other ways on the internet?
You can find us doing things other ways on the World Wide Web at one of our two handles, at Doing Baseball or at Doing.Baseball, if you're perusing around the internets and want to chime in on some conversation, see what we're up to, give us a story idea. You can find us at one of those two handles, and it'll lead you in the right direction.
That's right. And you can give us a review, give us a rating, give us a bump, tell your friends, wherever you do. Thank you for listening. And just share with your friends. It's baseball season, and we love it. We also love a solid beverage with our baseball season. And you can get a solid beverage from our friends at Two Loons. Two Loons Brewing is right in the west end of Toronto. That's right, 122 Brock Avenue. But you don't have to go there. You could grab them at your local LCBO or your local alcohol establishment that sells great beer, because Two Loons is some great beer. But very excited. They are open now. You can go grab right from Two Loons, 122 Brock Avenue, Toronto, Ontario. And, of course,
please be of legal drinking age and, of course, enjoy responsibly.
That's right. All right, so we did it. I'm going to crack it 2 Loons.
Dos lunes.
Dos lunes. And throw on the tools of ignorance here for my buddy Edsy to deliver a pitch. What kind of pitch you got for me today, Edsy? I know this is kind of breaking the rules, I guess. I realized in our little preamble here, when we ask what kind of pitch, we're actually kind of having a pregame meeting. But what kind of pitch you got for me?
That's right. Yeah, this is our pitch comm. Actually, I am kind of going in a similar direction to you in your last story, Sean. This will be a bit of a screwball.
Nice.
It's I'm not gonna give away too much before I get started here, but it's another kind of standard biography, but this guy participated in a couple events, particularly a contest that led me down the rabbit hole of learning about this guy's life. But I'm not going to give away too much here before I get started. If you're ready to get started, I will get started.
Let's go.
Have I said get started enough times in the last 5 seconds?
Yeah, one more. Just for just one more. One more.
All right, let's get started.
Okay.
October 8th, 1887.
Ooh.
Francesco Stephano Pezzolo was born in the Cow Hollow section in the great California city of San Francisco.
Wow. Okay. So 1879.
No. 1887.
I'm dyslexic. Yeah. And I threw a 9 in there for fun. Yeah. 87.
I think our pitch comm is not working. Give us a timeout here.
I don't. Yeah. Thank God. And what's his name? Francis Pezzolo?
Francesco Stephano Pezzolo.
Okay.
But I'll get to it in a minute. But that's not the name that we know him as in baseball history. But
Okay.
I'll get to his known moniker in a minute. His parents were both Italian immigrants to America. His mother...
No kidding.
Pardon?
I said no kidding.
Yes, yeah. His mother, Rosemary Pezzolo, née DiMartini, married Frank's father, Joseph Pezzolo, and they raised their family in Northern California. Like many American-born children of immigrants, young Frank fit in with other kids in the neighborhood by playing baseball. He was allegedly kind of a cocky kid and possessed a lot of power at the dish even at a young age. A famous sports writer from San Francisco, W.O. McGeehan, once wrote that Frank had acquired his strength by rolling rocks down from Telegraph Hill, which was to the east of his home in Cow Hollow. He said, quote, "They keep their territory free from invaders by digging rocks out of the summit and rolling them down the streets."
I mean, cool. I guess the digging's how you get strong, because I'm like, it's downhill, man. Like,
Yeah, that's true. That wouldn't be that hard to roll the rocks, but probably fairly difficult to dig them out of the ground, as you said. So
yeah, and they're doing this for territory, or to like make sure there's no rocks.
I'm not really sure. I wasn't able to find exactly what they were protecting themselves from, but according to W.O. McGeehan, they were protecting themselves from invaders.
Well, yeah, sure.
Anyway, so Frank has got some attention in the baseball world due to his great strength, and the power of his swing gives rise to a new nickname for the young slugger, and he soon became known as Ping for the way the ball sounded when it came off of his bat.
Interesting.
Do you think you maybe know who I'm talking about now?
I think so, but not. Yeah, I don't know anything about them, and I got to hear the last name to be sure.
Okay, well, I'm about to get to that right now. Furthermore, he adopted a new surname out of fear that he may be ridiculed for his Italian heritage. According to Frank's brother Dave, who wrote the editor of the Sporting News in February 1912, Ping took the last name of Bodie from their uncle, who took the name from a town in Mono County east of the Sierra Nevada range, where Ping's father and possibly his uncle were once miners.
I knew it. Ping Bodie.
Ping Bodie, yes.
And he's like, I just got it from my uncle, who got it from a town who they worked there maybe in a mine. Wow. This just goes to prove how racist people were to Italian people.
Yes. Yeah. So the way I explained it there, it kind of, I think I made it sound like Ping himself was embarrassed about the Italian heritage, but I think it was probably actually his uncle, and then he just took the same name.
Yeah, and he was like, well, if I'm going to be a baseball player, I can't be ethnic.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Jesus, yeah, we haven't gotten better.
Yeah, no, not really. So anyway, to just give a little bit of background, put a little meat on the bone here, give a little background about the history of Bodie briefly. The town is about 75 miles southeast of Lake Tahoe and sits at an elevation of nearly 8,400 feet. Bodie became a boom town in 1876 when a profitable vein of gold was found in the area. By 1879, the year that Sean believes that Ping was born in, there were 2,000 buildings and the population ballooned to about 8,000. The veins didn't last too long, though, and within 35 years, the town had declined so much that by 1915, it came to be described as a ghost town. Today, the U.S. Department of the Interior recognizes the Bodie Historic District as a National Historic Landmark and has been established as Bodie State Historic Park since 1962. And you can visit it today, Sean, along with the 200,000 other visitors it receives annually.
So it's now a park?
Yes, the ghost town is now a park, yes, and receives
That's cool.
200,000 visitors a year.
We should have gone,
We
but I
sh-
mean, I don't think we were close
I
to
don't,
there necessarily.
yeah, I don't think we were that close, but there's a lot of places that I learn about that I regretfully missed going to on a lot of our trips. But anyway,
Yeah, we could have gone to the place where Ping Bodie got his name. And like also just humanity is just parasitic, right? Like they're just like, there's gold there. Just come on in, rip it all out, and then it's just like, scatter.
yeah, yeah, we don't need to live here anymore. It's gone. What we came here for is gone.
We extracted all of the wealth, and now we'll be on our way.
Yeah. Left to decay. So anyway, so there's the Ping Bodie origin story out of the way. I wasn't able to find very much information on his early life because it was like the 1880s and 90s.
Sure.
But let's just dive straight into his baseball career, okay? Ping began his professional career in the California State League in 1905, which was a 6-team independent league that featured teams in Fresno, Lodi, Presidio, San Francisco, San Jose, and Stockton. Ping and his brother Dave began the season playing for the Presidio of San Francisco Soldiers, I believe, which was originally a team formed at one of the city's major army bases to play games against local colleges and city clubs. But by the end of the first season, 1905, Ping and his brother Dave were with the San Francisco squad.
Okay.
I'm not really sure if one was absorbed into the other or not,
Yeah.
but anyway, it's a time where these independent leagues are changing at a rapid rate. So anyway, point is, by the end of 1905, he's in San Francisco.
Okay.
Ping played all over the outfield and infield, and even had a stint on the mound before finally settling into a consistent outfield position. In 1906, the San Francisco team adopted the nickname Orphans and joined another independent league in California, aptly named the California League.
Okay. So they're the orphans of the California League, which
Yeah.
they definitely stole from Chicago.
Yes. Yeah. Bodie would remain there in San Francisco for 2 full seasons and part of a third when in 1908 he joined the ranks of the Pacific Coast League's San Francisco Seals. That year with the Seals, Ping appeared in 36 games and batted .246 with 37 hits, 6 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, and 37 runs scored in 134 at-bats. He also found love and married his first wife, Anna. They would eventually have 2 children, a boy they named Frank, and a girl they named Frances Ann, which is the same thing.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank and Franny.
Yeah. The following season of 1909, he saw more playing time, getting into 157 games, batting .249 with 135 hits, 41 doubles, 6 triples, and 10 home runs in 543 at-bats. So there's a drop in average, but a growth in power numbers for 1909.
Okay.
In 1910, Ping Bodie really broke out, though. He played an astounding 212 games,
Jesus.
had 768 at-bats, in which he increased his average to .263. He had 202 hits, 34 doubles, 5 triples, and at this time, an incredible 30 home runs.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, dead ball era. And like I was like, how does this guy get famous? He's like hitting mid 200s and there's a little pop, but it's dead ball era. So, they're looking at 300 hitters with 80% singles at this point. 30 home runs.
Yeah.
Wild.
30 dingers. And with these 30 dingers, the Chicago White Sox took notice.
Yep.
And decided to put in a call to San Francisco to acquire the services of the 22-year-old Bodie. He joined the Pale Hose for 1911 and became one of the first Italian ball players to make it up to the major leagues.
Wow, he's like, good thing they don't know.
He took up the mantle from Eddie Abaticchio. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear that again? Eddie Abaticchio.
Sure.
He was the first Italian major leaguer who had retired from Major League Baseball the year before. So they're only allowed one.
And he's in disguise.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Where am I here? Bodie helped pave the way for future stars like Frank Cassetti, Tony Lazzari, Phil Rizzuto, and of course Joe and Dom DiMaggio.
I was going to say, it was the last Italian in the major leagues.
Yeah. He began the season on the bench, but when Charles Comiskey publicly lamented the lack of offensive output by his squad, Bodie approached the owner and told him, quote, "You want some hitting? Put me in the lineup."
He's like, we just got nobody that can hit. What about that guy that hit 30 home runs?
Yeah,
I'll talk to him. Can you hit? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to admire the confidence and the optimism.
Well, I mean, ballsy, but sure. I'm assuming that we're talking about him. He does okay.
Yeah, he does all right. And here's a quote from Ralph Berger's Sabre bio on Bodie, which, again, I'll just shout out and say that anchored a lot of my research here.
Yep.
But straight from the bio, Bodie explains that, quote, or Berger explains that, quote, ever the optimist, Bodie had a great outlook on life and lived it to the fullest. He bragged a lot, but unlike most braggarts, he was very popular with his teammates and the fans. He was a likable quality in his makeup. There was a likable quality in his makeup, a twinkle in his eyes, and an outgoing personality full of showmanship.
Okay.
So Comiskey honored Bodie's request and told manager Hugh Duffy to put him in. Bodie debuted 115 years ago today, April 22nd, 1911.
Whoa.
As a pinch hitter for Roy Corin in the bottom of the 8th inning against Ed Willett of the Detroit Tigers. He popped up to second and was replaced defensively for the 9th because Corin was a shortstop, so they didn't put him there. Anyway, the next day he was called off the bench in the 5th, took a walk, and then struck out in the 8th. So a bit of a slow start there to Ping's career, .333 on-base percentage with no hits in 3 plate appearances. But it was a small sample size, and Bodie was aided by an injury to one of the White Sox regulars. And this is from the Indianapolis News, April 27th, 1911. Quote, "Ping Bodie may help the White Sox. White Sox fans today are looking forward to the debut of Ping Bodie, former terror of Pacific Coast pitchers with the White Sox. Manager Duffy announced today that the Coast outfielder would likely get his big league tryout at the Sox-Brown game Friday in place of Jimmy Callahan, who hurt his hand yesterday."
All right.
The Sheboygan Daily Press, a couple days earlier on the 25th, were skeptical about Bodie's ability to help, saying, quote, "Ping Bodie of the White Sox, with all his home run greatness, has one weakness. He can't hit the low ball."
Oh. Like, all right. Hit the high ball, Ping.
Yeah. Look for your...
Sheboygan doesn't believe in anyone.
No. Yeah, that's right. Just get up there and look for your pitch, Ping. But Ping ended up in the lineup that very night, actually, making his first big league start Thursday, April 27th, 1911. Duffy placed him in right field, batting 5th, and what a debut by Bodie it was. He went 4 for 5 with 3 runs scored. The San Francisco Examiner went nuts back home. Quote, Ping Bodie, the highly touted San Francisco fence buster, made good with a vengeance today in the first major league game that manager Duffy has allowed him to play. The slugging demon from the Pacific Coast was at bat 5 times. He smashed out a triple, a double, and 2 singles, as well as a line fly which outfielder Murray had a long chase before he caught it. Bodie came to bat for the first time in the second inning. He was first up and hit a grasser over second base for a single. His teammates failed to bring him around. The fence breaker was up again in the third inning with the bases full of White Sox. He clawed a double to the right field fence, which cleared the sacks and set the crowd wild with delight. The next time, in the fifth inning, Bodie singled after Doherty had flied out. Ping stole second standing up, showing a lot of speed, and scored on Tannehill's single. The best Bodie could do in the sixth was to clout a liner far out to right, which Murray got under and held. As if not satisfied with 3 smashing hits, Ping ambled to the plate in the eighth and stung a slashing triple to the left field fence, which is some hit in the Sox park. Ping scored easily. When Tannehill flied to Hoffman, the crowd gave Bodie an ovation after his drive. What the Sox need now, and have needed for years, is a Simon Pure fence buster, and Bodie certainly looks like the goods. It seems hardly probable that Duffy can keep him out of the regular berth, and one of the veteran Irish trio, McIntyre, Callahan, and Doherty, seems certain to lose his place to home run Bodie. The loyal Sox fans, so long without a real clouter, will worship Bodie if he can keep up the good work.
Damn.
So they're hyped.
I feel like San Francisco is like the equivalent of like a Japanese player coming here nowadays. Like, it's so far removed from Major League Baseball. They're like, yeah, they're following his every move and like, God, he did it.
Yeah.
It's like our homegrown son is doing it well in the major leagues.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. It was hard to deny Bodie, and he became a regular for the White Sox for the next 4 years, putting up respectable numbers. Ping finished 1911 with a 2.8 WAR in 145 games. He collected 157 hits with 4 home runs, 13 triples, 27 doubles, 14 stolen bases, 97 RBI, and 75 runs scored in 630 plate appearances. He walked 49 times against 79 strikeouts, which altogether was good for a 289, 348, 407 slash line, and a 112 OPS plus. It's not bad for a rookie campaign, really.
No, I mean you got some extra base hits. You're scoring runs. You're driving in runs. You're 12% above everybody else in slugging and on base. Like that, that's pretty darn good. And he's rookie. Like, he's like what, 22, 23 at this point?
If this is 1911, he is 24.
Okay, yeah,
I think.
Yeah. I have no idea what he was born.
1887 to 1911?
Yeah. I was convinced it was 1889, so yep.
You got to get that year down right, man.
I'm not good at that.
One writer, Wood Ballard, described Ping as, quote, anthropoid-like, with broad stooping shoulders and long dangling arms, which seemed to hang even lower when he trotted to and from his outfield position. So
he's calling him an anthropod?
Yes, with broad stooping shoulders and long dangling arms.
Okay, all right. So he's like a beetle. This man is a beetle.
So he stands out. He stands out.
Okay.
And as mentioned before, he was confident and played to the crowds. He once bragged he could, quote, hem-stitch the spheroid.
He sure could.
I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds cool.
Yep.
Ping's 7-year-old son was even known to parade through the stands shouting, quote, my daddy can out-hit any man in baseball. It's
cute but annoying. Like, really annoying.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think I read that Ping put him up to doing that. I could be wrong on that, but anyway, that's what his son did. He continued to have success over the next 2 seasons, slashing .294, .358, .407, and .264, .325, .397, with 2.4 and 1.8 WAR in 1912 and 1913, respectively. But in 1914, his numbers declined to just above replacement level. He played 107 games to the tune of a 0.1 WAR. He collected just 75 hits with 3 homers, 5 triples, and 9 doubles, 12 stolen bases, 29 RBI, and 21 runs scored in 383 plate appearances. His strikeout to walk ratio was 35-21, with a 229, 278, 315 slash line, good for a 79 OPS plus.
Yeah, that's a rough year.
Yeah. With declining numbers and a few spats with player-manager Jimmy Callahan, Bodie's contract was sold back to the San Francisco Seals. So he's back in the PCL after 4 years. And from the Atlanta Journal, March 5th, 1915, quote, "The White Sox have acquired the services of Eddie Collins.
Ooh.
They have also shipped Ping Bodie back to the bush."
San Francisco might as well be fucking Mars at this point for like Chicago or New York people. Especially.
I don't think anyone from the Atlanta Journal has ever been to San Francisco.
Yeah, very
Not
bushy out there.
I mean, I assume they're saying Bush League, but still.
Yeah, it could just be a euphemism for the sticks.
Yeah, it's fun to make fun though. So,
yeah.
Bodie returned home for the seasons of 1915 and 16, finding a way to right the ship. Ping smashed 39 homers and respectively batted .325 and .303, numbers which earned him a look from Philadelphia A's manager Connie Mack, who was in the midst of rebuilding his club to its former glory.
Trying to.
Yeah. So if you didn't catch that there, like the 39 homers is over 2 seasons. He hit 20 in one season. I was going to say.
Yeah. Well, that's still great for the time. We're pre-Babe Ruth still, really, right? Like it's 1915, 1916.
Yeah. Yeah, Babe Ruth, I believe, is still only a pitcher at this time.
Well, and just barely. He's like 19 or something.
Yeah. So Connie Mack's building his team. The San Francisco Examiner read February 9th, 1917, that, quote, "Ping Bodie is reported to have patched up his differences with Connie Mack, and the contract, which has been under discussion for many weeks, is to be signed and sent at once to Philadelphia." So he signs for somewhere between the $4,000 that Ping was asking for and the $3,600 offered by Mack.
Okay.
I couldn't find an exact figure, but I was able to find that Bodie was asking for $4,000 and Mack was offering $3,600. But
yeah, okay.
Anyway, so the long and short of it is that Ping Bodie was back in the big leagues, playing for an atrocious Philadelphia Athletics club. The team finished 1917 in 8th place with a record of 55-98-1.
Woof.
Yeah. Late in August that season, the Athletics took an 8-4 victory over Detroit, though, and the Philadelphia Inquirer described it colorfully, to say the least. Get ready. Quote,
I love it.
August 24th. Manager Jennings was a happy man Friday evening when he called the roll of his athletes in the clubhouse and discovered that nobody had been killed or seriously wounded. He had reason to be thankful that the Tigers escaped without any casualties, for they had just been through a 2-hour bombardment in which the Athletics pulled stuff that even the Prussian military leaders would think too rough.
It's wartime. Do they know that? Like, All right, cool. Go with those metaphors.
I think that's why they're going with that. But it continues. From time to time, some club has made more hits at Navan Field than the 16 the Max compiled on this occasion, but nobody over got any more vicious ones. The article continues even more, and at the end describes Bodie's contributions in some language not likely to get over today. And I'm going to read them right now. Quote, "That eminent spaghetti assassin, Ping Bodie, must have got the idea that the Detroit pitchers are of Austrian heritage, for he poked everything served up toward the plate with vicious intent."
The spaghetti assassin.
Yeah.
That is some old-timey racism. That is like, I'm going to do... Mwah! And like, once again, the Australian-Italian front is a horrific battlefield where people are being killed by rock slides and avalanches on top of bullets and artillery. Very insensitive, very old-timey racist, but the spaghetti assassin, oh my God. Okay. Oh my.
And not really. It's not really necessarily intended to be, but that may be a bit of foreshadowing. I won't say any more. So
he's gonna make spaghetti.
You'll see. So despite the Athletics generally being pretty bad, Ping has made himself a fan favorite, and he knew it. He once said, quote, "I and the Liberty Bell are the only attractions in Philadelphia."
I mean, good point. Sure. Cheesesteak hadn't been invented yet.
No cheesesteaks yet. There were barely in... I don't even think we got hot dogs yet. Ping finished the year second on the team in WAR with 3.6, just behind Stuffy McGinnis, who had a 3.9. In 148 games, he collected 162 hits with 7 homers, 11 triples, 28 doubles in 635 plate appearances. He stole 13 bases, scored 51 runs while driving in 74. He walked more than he struck out, with 53 bases on balls against 40 strikeouts, and his slash line was 291, 356, 418, and his OPS plus was a career high 139. If there was a comeback player of the year award back then, I can only assume that Bodie would have corralled it for himself.
He got the spaghetti assassin award.
Yeah. The fine play caught the attention of the New York Yankees, and they acquired Ping's services from Connie Mack when they sent first baseman George Burns to the A's. While playing in the Big Apple, the fun side of Bodie's personality really began to shine. Yankees spring training in 1918 was held in Macon, Georgia. And during his first camp with the Pinstripes, Bodie was involved in one of baseball history's greatest pranks. I'll retell the story with an excerpt once again from Ralph Berger's Sabre bio on Bodie. Quote, "Several of the pitchers on the Yankee staff went to a carnival, and with their great accuracy in knocking over bottles soon walked away with the top prizes," which was live ducks.
Oh!
Each pitcher had 2 ducks to carry, and the next question was what to do with the ducks. Bob Shockey had an idea. He phoned Ping Bodie and told him to take Izzy Kaplan, who was a photographer with the team, out to a movie. Ping, always eager to oblige with a practical joke, took Izzy out to the movie houses. When Ping burst into laughter during a serious scene, Izzy, in his Middle European accent, looked at Ping in puzzlement and said, "What's the matter?" Ping replied, I was thinking of something funny that happened back in San Francisco." and Ping burst into laughter again. This brought the manager down, who promptly threw them both out. When Izzy returned to his room and switched on the lights, he ran to the lobby yelling, "There's ghosts in my room!" This got the attention of many people in the lobby. The hotel manager and several Yankees went to the room to investigate. What they found were ducks swimming around in a full bathtub and several more flying around the room. Izzy demanded an explanation. Damon Runyon asked Izzy if he had left the window open, to which Izzy replied yes, and Runyon said, maybe some wild ducks flew in. And Izzy was still fuming, and he replied, I guess they also turned on the spigots, eh? Ran
the tub?
Yeah, yeah.
I just love sitting in the movie like, what are you laughing at? Nothing. Definitely not ducks in your room.
Yeah. This is definitely not a fantastic ruse. So that's the end of the quote. And maybe aided by this prank, I'm not sure, Bodie made the team out of spring training, and new manager Miller Huggins was confident the new additions were sure to help the club. The Miami Herald said on April 3rd, 1918, quote, with the help of Ping Bodie and Darryl Pratt, Huggins is sure the Yanks will be near the top at the finish. But Ping saw less playing time in 1918 and put up numbers slightly better than average. He finished the season with a 102 OPS plus and a 1.2 WAR as he put up a 256, 319, 358 slash line in 91 games. He collected 83 hits, including 3 homers, 6 triples, and 12 doubles. He drove in 46 runs and scored 36 of his own, all in 371 plate appearances. The Yanks finished 4th at 60, 63, and 3.
That's pretty pedestrian.
Yeah, so they're about halfway. I think there was only 8 in the league at the time. So not really near the top.
No.
Anyway, when 1919 rolled around, Ping continued his animalistic antics. When he participated in an event that actually inspired me to tell this story in the first place.
It wasn't the ducks?
It was not the ducks. It's another avian story, Sean.
We got birds.
Yeah, Yankees co-owner Cap Houston had the idea to hold a publicity stunt, which was the style at the time. The stunt would, of course, involve Ping and his colorful personality and apparently voracious appetite. On April 3rd, in Jacksonville, Florida, Bodie challenged Percy, an ostrich from the Jacksonville Zoo, to a spaghetti eating contest.
That son of a gun. It's all coming together.
Percy had been touted as, quote, the world's greatest eater. The contest was structured similar to a boxing match, with Bodie selecting his favorite dish of spaghetti as the food to be devoured. And
so maybe the newspaper wasn't racist. Maybe he called himself the spaghetti assassin.
Yeah, it's very possible.
It's very possible.
It's very possible. Once again from Ralph Berger's bio at Sabre, quote, after the 11th plate, Percy could barely make it to the platter. Percy's eyes were bloodshot and his sides were swollen. Percy appeared about to explode. Grown men and women departed from the spectacle. They felt sorry for the stuffed bird. Percy looked at the 12th plate and swooned to his knees. Ping, sensing victory, grabbed his plate of spaghetti and downed it. The ostrich never recovered, and Ping was the winner. The official verdict was a technical knockout when Percy couldn't answer the bell for the 12th plate.
I'm just picturing an exhausted spaghetti-mouthed bird just trying to just hang in there. Like that is.
I love how they describe like the bird is sentient and like is like going back to receive another plate. I'll have another plate of spaghetti, please.
Not that they're just shoving, and its natural animal instincts is like, there's food, you need to eat food, because tomorrow there might not be food. It's just, and I like how children and women are upset by this, too. Like, I don't like this bird's not looking good.
Stop, he's already dead.
Ping Bodie's like, give me more.
I'm the spaghetti assassin. I'm gonna assassinate this spaghetti. So anyway, so Ping Bodie eats 12 plates of spaghetti to this Percy the Ostrich's 11th, and Ping is declared the winner.
Sure, of course.
And this carb load didn't slow Ping down for the season either. Over 134 games, he slashed 278, 374, 406 on the season, collecting 132 hits with 6 homers, 8 triples, and 27 doubles, scoring 45 runs and driving in 59, good for a 2.3 WAR and an OPS of 107. 1920 was more of the same, a slight regression in WAR to 1.2, but the same OPS plus. Bodie played in 129 games. He made 139 hits, 7 of them home runs, 12 of them triples, and 26 of them doubles. He drove in 77 and scored 63 of his own. Once again, he walked more than he struck out, 40 to 30, and he slashed 295, 350, and 446. After the 1919 season, the Yankees, as most know, made their greatest acquisition in their history when they bought the contract of George Herman Ruth from the Boston Red Sox for $100,000. And as luck would have it, he roomed with Ping Bodie.
Whoa.
When asked what it was like to have the greatest ball player of the day and maybe ever for a roommate, Bodie said, quote, "Room with them? Why, I room with the big monkey's baggage."
Jesus Christ.
As, you know, Ruth was known to spend a night or two on the town, so sounds like he wasn't in the room very often is basically what I'm getting at.
Bodie's like, I'm just sitting there eating spaghetti by myself.
Watching Babe Ruth's bags. I'm a baggage handler. But Bodie, now in his age 32 season, unfortunately didn't have any of the Babe's skills rub off on him. By this point in his career, he was losing a step. He only stole 6 bases and was caught 14 times. Bugs Bayer, a sports writer for the Hearst publications, once described Ping's attempt to steal a base, saying, quote, "There was larceny in his heart, but his feet were honest."
I love it. That's a great line.
Yeah.
And Bugs Bear is a cartoon character, I'm 90% sure, not a sports writer.
Yeah. He's a cousin of the rabbit.
Yeah.
1912 would be Ping's last season in the majors. He played in just 31 games for the Yankees and slashed a dismal 172, 242, 241. He hit no homers and only 4 extra base hits out of 15 in 97 plate appearances. By August, he was traded to the Red Sox, but he did not play for them. And so that year, after the Yanks went on to win the pennant, Ping asked for half a share of the World Series money, but the Yanks would not oblige their former slugger. Ping spent the next 7 seasons in the minors playing with Vernon and San Francisco in the Pacific Coast League. The Vernon squad, just quickly aside here, had one of the Hall of Fame lineups as far as amazing baseball names go. And let me just list you a few of my favorites here, Sean. This isn't even the whole team.
All right.
So there's Ping Bodie, naturally.
Sure.
And we'll round this off with about 10 or 12 other names.
Jesus.
On this team was a man named Chet Chadbourne.
Wow.
Weezer Dell.
Wow.
Tony Faith.
Okay.
Chuck Garman. Dallas Locker.
Oh, that's a MMA fighter.
Yeah. Jakey May.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Frank Schellenbach. Raleigh Zeter.
Okay.
Hugh High.
I love Hugh High.
Ham Hyatt,
Oh, wow.
Chicken Hawks,
Yep.
and Truck Hannah.
Truck. Okay. All right.
And I think there was 22 or 23 men on this team, and that's just the top
Half of them.
That's just the top 12. The other ones were good too, but just, not in the same realm. So I left them off the list. But anyway, that was just a quick aside there, because we always talk about the awesomeness of old-timey baseball player names. But anyway,
I think I got to say Ham Hyatt's my favorite.
Ham Hyatt. I think my favorite was Truck Hannah.
Truck Hannah is like
Like that guy.
sounds like
that guy had to be batting cleanup.
Sure. Truck Hannah's like a new wave like country indie band.
That tracks.
We could start a band called Truck Hannah. Anyways.
I guess we could. Anyway, we're digressing hard now. Back to the
Yeah.
story. Bodie also played for Des Moines in the Western League and Wichita Falls and San Antonio in the Texas League, and he finally hung them up after 1928. Ping's major league career totals were a batting average of .275, 1,011 hits, 43 homers, 516 runs batted in, and 393 runs scored in 1,050 games. His minor league totals were considerably more impressive. He had a .310 average, 1,973 hits, 203 homers, 581 RBI, and those numbers are incomplete, so he may have had more, and 990 runs in 1,787 games.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's had a decent career. He spent 10 years in the majors and probably 10 to maybe 13 or 15 in the minors. So
Yeah, I wasn't sure after that first stint with the White Sox when he got sent back. I wasn't really sure. I was like, did he have that short of a career? Or I mean, less home runs than I expected in the majors, but like also kind of more. 202, you said?
203, but that was in the minors. He only had 43 in the majors.
Oh, okay. That makes much more sense. Which it seemed like he was like not a quad A player, but like one of those guys that just was too good for the minors, but kind of he not nothing more than 10% better than the competition in the majors.
His power didn't exactly translate in the same way to the major leagues, but he still put up a lot of extra base hits in his career. So I think that's where he became useful, and it sounds like he was just a fun guy, So
yeah. I mean, he beat a bird at a spaghetti
that's
contest.
right. He assassinated that bird.
Just imagine like sharing a meal with an ostrich. Let's just sit there and just that is. Anyways, I was surprised. It could have just started killing him at any moment.
It could have.
Those birds are giant.
It could have. We're not done here though. We're done with baseball. We got a little bit more about the last bit of his life here. Ping and his wife Anna separated in 1923, and in 1925 they divorced. She had, according to Bodie, circulated rumors that he was a bootlegger and a drunk. But that wasn't the main problem that he had with her. He alleged that she was sending derogatory statements to Commissioner Landis and manager Huggins that that attacked his character and conduct and called him crazy, which he kind of was.
Yeah, he's kind of crazy, but I was, with all of these like turn of the century, early 1900s, late 1800s players, I just kind of expect most of them are drunk. The fact that you hadn't brought that up until this point, I was like, yeah, maybe he's not just pissing in the wind every moment of every day. But I'm gonna believe his wife a little bit. I don't know about the bootlegging part. I feel like that might have been, I feel like he would have bragged about it later. But
yeah.
okay, but she's writing Landis and she's trying to give him a bad name, and he's like, "That's it, we're done."
Yeah, exactly. After he retired from baseball, Bodie was an electrician on Hollywood movie lots and a bit actor, mostly with Universal Studios, for 32 years.
Jeez, all right.
He made friends with many actors and actresses, the likes of Charles Boyer and Carole Lombard, which I'm not familiar with. I didn't look up their filmography. But anyway, he made friends with some actors. Ping was as lively as ever as he performed his electrician duties. Into his golden years, he was confident and optimistic as he ever was. He was asked when he was 73 years old if he could still hit, and he shot back, quote, "Give me the mace and I'll drive the pumpkin down Whitey Ford's throat."
Jesus Christ. All right, Ping, we get it. You can hit.
He told anyone who would listen, quote, "Boy, how I used to whale the old apple and smack the old onion."
And I could hit as well.
He even found time to oversee an automobile service station he owned near the Seals ballpark. And I'll wrap this up with another excerpt from Ralph Berger's Sabre bio. Quote, "Ping Bodie was a personality on and off the field. His lust for life and his quest to find the fun in it was genuine and made him many friends both in baseball and in Hollywood. There was no malice in his life. He had a smile for everyone. And if he liked someone, he would pull a harmless stunt on him." Ping Bodie died of lung cancer at Notre Dame Hospital in San Francisco on December 17th, 1961, at the age of 74. His legacy carried on by his family, his second wife, the former Ed May Corkin, his son Frank and daughter Frances Ann, stepson Harry E. Corkin, stepdaughter Dorothy H. Corkin, 2 sisters, a brother, and 3 grandchildren. And that, Sean, is the story of Ping Bodie and all his animalistic antics and, his positive attitude and his baseball career.
Well, I'll just say that off the field, he couldn't keep it foul. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, birds.
Yeah, birds.
He was foul off the field. That's what I should have said.
There you go.
There we go. Oh my God. All right. Well, that was fun. Not expecting the spaghetti assassin or numerous bird stories. And that makes it that's exactly the kind of people. And like a mediocre career. Like pretty mediocre. Like it was good.
Yeah.
But
didn't live up to the hype, but
yeah.
But still good enough.
Good enough. Good enough for us.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for telling me that story. That was fun. No, I've definitely heard of Ping Bodie. I believe I had heard of the ostrich spaghetti eating contest. Although that's not something. I mean, it should stick with you. But that, I read so much crazy baseball history that you're like, yeah, write it down, forget about it,
yeah,
and then you bring it back. And I definitely didn't hear about filling the team photographer's room with ducks and him thinking it was ghosts, which that's a stretch. That is a stretch. I guess if the room is dark and you have a bunch of ducks in your room and you can't see them, I could, yeah, that could be the undead, visiting you, but ducks.
Possibly gaslighting at the time, right? So maybe he hadn't lit the lights yet. And all he heard was flapping around. I mean, I think it would be pretty clear that it was ducks, but what do I know?
Just cake on his face.
Maybe they don't have ducks in Eastern Europe. I don't know. I've never been there.
Look, it was 1917 or whatever. The man was just probably just getting terrible letters from his relatives. Just another cousin died. He just went back to his room. Oh God!
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a great story. Love Ping Bodie. I think he might have been on my list, so I'm going to delete him off my list and never ever think of him again. Other than
you can think of him again every April 3rd and remember his spaghetti eating contest with Percy the ostrich.
Yeah. Yeah, how very, timeline in line with both his debut taking place, what was it, 115 years ago today?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, and, the spaghetti eating contest, almost that, 3 weeks ago or so.
Yeah.
Great, awesome. Thank you for telling that story. We'll be back in a couple weeks with another story from baseball history. I don't think it'll be as fun as this one. That's your hint.
Okay.
Until then, where can people find us?
People can find us on the internet somewhere at one of our two handles, @doingbaseball or @doingbaseball. Find us at one of those two handles. It'll lead you in the right direction and chime in on some conversation. Give us a story idea. Give us a review on whatever platform you're listening to us, and thanks for listening. And I guess until next time.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Eds.
And we were doing baseball.
Okay. Bye.